One of my favorite sound bites of all time. That's a goat. I had no idea goats sounded like that. I'm not a farmer. I know what you're thinking. That's got to huff. He all balls. He must work on a farm. No, I don't. I had no idea this was a goat. Sounds like somebody's like choking their chicken in the back alley and then stub their toe against a dirty, dirty, rusty nail. I don't know what that means. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great day. What's up? It's DeHuff. It's another episode of DeHuff Uncensored. A lot to get to today. Cannot wait. Hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Also, don't forget today's show is presented to you by High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge, as well as Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. And right now, you can receive a 50% free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit to bet on anything from the Olympics to baseball to Formula One racing. My God, I was doing so well. And then I just pooped my pants. Anyway, Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. And when the game's over, head on over to their online casino, get in on the game of blackjack or poker, or even unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Head to betonline.ag right now to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. I can't believe it's freaking August right now. I'm like, wait a minute. It's August 1st. Holy poop on a stick. That's crazy. Had no freaking idea. It's like July just flew freaking by. It was just so busy. And just, with my car getting jacked up with hail damage. Didn't have my car for like 3 weeks. That was annoying. But anyway, there's a lot to get into today. Cannot freaking wait. Before we get into the headlines, a little bit of housekeeping and things that I'll take credit for, including the guy who got Terrell Davis banned from United Airlines has been fired, according to TMZ. I'll take credit for that. Why not? Okay? I made my case on yesterday's show about why the guy was a pile of poo and all that good stuff. So I don't like seeing people get fired. But everything that was laid out, he got shit canned. So it makes sense. So that's good. Also, right after I did the show, I turned on the Olympics and I'm like, God dang it. They're doing the stupid triathlon. Meaning, I had just talked about how they might ban postpone, push back the water portion, the swimming portion of the triathlon. Well, they end up getting it figured out, and apparently the water bacteria levels weren't as bad as they thought they were going to be, and they were able to proceed with that part of the triathlon, which is great. I'm guessing, okay, let's be honest. I'm guessing what they did is they heard me talking about how funny it would be and exciting if all of a sudden people were watching and they saw like random turds fly by a swimmer or boater's face. Come on. I mean, that would be exciting. So they leaned on the side of turds, and when you lean on the sides of turds, you must win. There you go. Also, did you guys see that after the triathlon, one of the guys, after getting out of the water, like puked his guts out? And a lot of people are like, that, oh my God, it's because of the water. No. Dude, have you ever like exerted yourself so much that you throw up? Like you exercise so much you threw up? I've done that once. I thought I could go and do CrossFit. This is like 12 years ago, something like that. And our friend Heather does it all the time. She's super fit, right? And my wife and I are like, let's do it. It'll be fun. So we go over there, and I'm like, mentally, I'm like, I'm going to rock the shit out of this. Physically, I wasn't able to rock the shit out of it. And all of a sudden, I'm like not even halfway through like running. And I'm like, I lean over behind a random building and just start puking. So I've been there. I'm guessing that's what it was with this individual. That being said, if I participated in any sort of water event in the Olympics, I'd be making sure that I got a whole bunch of shots afterwards, right? And making sure I don't have like any sort of hepatitis going on there, or God knows what's in that fucking water. Maybe hey, listen, guys, if you're an Olympian, or ladies, if you're an Olympian and you participated in there and you're banging other people, because we know that's what the Olympics is. It's a big sex fest. And then you come back to your significant other back in wherever country you're from. Guess what you can say? Oh, I don't know how I got damn crotch critters. Must have been from that water. Wow, you're saying there was gonorrhea and syphilis in that water? Hey, I ain't no scientist, honey. I'm just an athlete, okay? Anyway. Oh, man. I guess that's my little participation trophy because I didn't medal. That's okay, honey. I still love you. What a piece of shit is all I'm saying. Anyway, that went way off the rails. And speaking of going off the rails, let's do it. Let's jump into those headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce, they're famous now. They were already, known in the sports world. We all knew who Jason Kelce was, an amazing offensive lineman. We knew who Travis Kelce was. He was an annoying fucking tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Still is. Jason retired. But they also have, a podcast. What is it? New Heights podcast. Listen, it was pretty good. It's a good podcast. It's funny. They're goofy. They give you a lot of insight. They're young and hip, right? Look at us. We're young and hip. But let's be honest, folks. That thing wasn't doing that great in comparison to when Travis started dating Taylor Swift. And the reason I bring this up is the headlines are saying that the Kelce bros is what I like to call them. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm the Kelce bros. Okay, welcome to our new podcast. We're going to talk about football stuff, and we're going to talk about Tay-Tay's new song lineup. I really can't wait to get into that. It's really exciting. By the way, my name is Travis Kelce, and I just really enjoy what I do. Okay. Hey, Tay-Tay, is it okay if I do this? Okay. Anyway, they're seeking $1 million for their New Heights podcast. Essentially, they're looking for a huge sponsor. They're looking for a payday like Joe Rogan gets. And they're riding, let's be honest, they're riding the coattails of Taylor Swift. And this is what I have to say. Good for them if they can get the money. If somebody wants to pay them that money, go for it, dude. As much as I dislike Travis Kelce, his face in general, and the fact that he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, mostly that one. You know what? If somebody wants to pay him the money, pay him the money. Take it and run. If somebody offered me like $1 million to be the sole, sponsor for this show, fuck yeah, I'd do it. If somebody wants to pay you the money, whether you're officially worth it or not, just take the fucking money. As long as it doesn't dictate your product. We used to always say this in radio. Sales should not dictate content. Because sometimes sales would come in and they'd just be like, okay, this is what's going to do. And they wouldn't even ask us. It's one thing if they ask us, then we could do it. But they'd be like, okay, we got a new sponsor. And basically you got to do a segment coming up at whatever time. And you're going to be talking about this. We're like, whoa, what? This is our show, not yours. Fucking dicks. Fucking salespeople, I tell you what. So I put that out there, by the way, in regards to the Kelce bros, seeking $1 million for their podcast rights, right? I think that's good for them. But Michael wrote in, dude has to pay for a wedding with T Swift. Got to get that money. That's a good point. She ain't gonna. Although I always thought it was the bride's family paid for stuff. Just saying, if I'm Travis, that's what I'm bringing up. Be like, listen, we're traditionalists. It's not my fault. Mike wrote in, wow, just wow. Do buyers think Tay Tay is going to be on the podcast? Playing her music doesn't count. Clowns. I get where Mike is coming from, because the way I'm looking at it is it was popular before. He starts dating Taylor Swift, it explodes. If they break up, they will have an initial spike in listeners, a significant one, because people are going to want to tune in to figure out what he's going to say. But I'm guessing what's going to happen is there's going to be a good chunk of those listeners that disappear. That being said, I still think it will be a successful podcast, but is it $100 million podcast? If somebody wants to pay for it, yes. But do I think so? No. Doesn't matter what I think. It's whoever has the freaking checkbook that wants to sling out some fat dough. Good for them if they can get it. But buyer beware. What are you actually paying for? And what happens if they break up? Listen, I don't want them to break up. If they're happy, that's great, fantastic. And I'm obviously poking fun at them. But the reality is that's a good possibility that they break up. Then what? You're sitting there as the money man, money company going, ah, shit. Now what? Well, we're not renewing unless Travis starts banging some other celebrity, to be so crude and put it that way. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. I think that's a bad business move. I should say this. It's risky, because if I'm wrong and they don't break up and they actually end up going in the, they get engaged and then they end up getting married, their numbers are going to be insane, because what they're getting with the relationship to Taylor Swift is all the fringe people, the people that are only tuning in because there's like a glimmer of hope that they're going to bring up Tay Tay and her new album possibilities. Ooh, I don't know. The way they're talking, I can only imagine the new song. Can't wait. Oh boy, here we go. Tay Tay, you're my hero. Sorry. Uh, Listen, if they want to, if somebody wants to pay for it, take the money and run, guys. Go with it. But I think that that's a risky move that has tremendous payoff. Tremendous. Um, a woman in New Zealand called the police. She thought she discovered something horrific. She thought she found a headless body on a beach. So the police come rushing out. Ma'am, stay back. We're going to check into this. What the hell? Oh my God. They get their, their little bobby stick. Is that what they call it in New Zealand? Hey guys, go get hey Timmy, go get a stick so we can poke the body. Try not to pop it, you fucker. You stupid cunt. Anyway, so he goes up, one of the officers goes over there with like their nightstick or whatever they had, and they're like pokes the foot. And then they're like, what the heck is going on? Then they roll it over. And then they're like, guess what it was? It was a very realistic sex doll. Not a dead body, but somehow the head got ripped off. Must have been rough sex. That's all I'm saying. Hell, I've been there. I've been there. Next thing you know, the sex doll's head just goes poop, pop it off. This is what she said. I sort of been thinking about how odd that was and how it made me feel a little bit uneasy. I had, when I first got out of the car, been actually thinking about bodies, which is totally bizarre. That statement alone makes me wanna go, "Okay, you know what, guys? Let's put her name down on the list. I know it's probably not really her fault that this thing washed up on shore, but she may be responsible for some other shit. Don't know, just putting her on a list." And, uh, and they I mean, these sex dolls are crazy. We've jokingly talked about it before. And since I was looking at this thing, I Googled them and like sex dolls. There's some good specials out there. That's all I'm saying. $1,500. Not bad. Not bad. And they had all these pictures, and I'm like clicking on the pictures. I'm like, is that supposed to be the vagina? Yeah. You know what? If you're lonely enough, why not? It's silicone, synthetic skin, and all this stuff, and, I'll tell you this much, they look fucking real, and it's pretty fucked up. You can pick the body you want, and then you can pick the face you want to go with it. It's so, so weird. But I actually have audio, uh, with a police officer responding to, finding the sex doll. "Yeah, guys, at first I was thinking, oh no, it's a person. But upon further inspection, it was clearly a sex doll. You know, the Anastasia Premium TPE sex doll with the C cups. Usually you got to pay a little bit extra like that on that, but no, it was pretty good. And those things are beautiful and durable, all wrapped up into one. Anyway, we're still investigating." Oh, wow. Nobody else has that audio. I brought it to you. You're welcome. And if you're in the market for a new sex doll, I tell you what, man, I'm looking at those going, holy shit. If I saw that at first glance, if I saw, because they like stage all the dolls in these provocative, you know, scenarios, and it looks like you first look at it, you're like, that's a real woman. And only by, staring really closely, I studied the pictures really hard. I mean, rock, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, it's her eyes that really give it away that it's a doll. Everything else, that and the close up of the crotch, that was one where I was like, oh, geez, they need to do some work on that one. It just doesn't look right. It does. It looked weird. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, if you're into it, go ahead. But those things are gonna be, I can see why some people are like, falling in love with these dolls, especially you start adding artificial intelligence, we in trouble. We in trouble. 'Cause those things look real. Holy cow. Cambridge Dictionary added some new Gen Z slang, and I think this is interesting because I talk to my kids all the time, and they're not Gen Z. There's whatever the new one is, Gen Alpha, maybe something like that. Anyway, so these are always interesting. Some of these I've heard of before, but like the first one, the ick. I have never heard of the ick, but apparently that was made famous on like a TV show, Love Island or something like that. But I've never heard anybody utter the ick. But apparently, it's a sudden feeling that you dislike someone or something, or are no longer attracted to someone because of something they do. I, I guess the ick. Just be like, I don't like that guy anymore. I don't like that lady anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's easy. See how easy it is? I don't like my job anymore. Instead of going, I got the ick on my job. Boop. Boop is being added to the Cambridge Dictionary. Boop. An affectionate touch is defined as a gentle hit or touch on a person or animal's nose or head, showing that you like them, or as a joke. I do like that one because anytime I've done it to somebody, it always makes them laugh. And if my wife did it to me the other day, like she gets all serious and she's looking at me and she taps me on the nose and she goes, boop. It's funny, okay? IYKYK. If you know, you know. That's all that is. It's weird that that's even being put in the Cambridge Dictionary, but okay. This one's weird. Never heard of it. Face journey. A series of expressions that appear on someone's face showing different emotions that they are experiencing as a reaction to something. Your face journey. I guess if you're having like a lot of mixed emotions, yeah. Like if you're like, I'm happy, I'm confused, I'm sad. Now I'm angry. Wow, you had quite the face journey there. I guess that's how you would do it. Just just kind of lame. This one is great. I like it. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Like it. A movement in which you put your fingers and thumb together, kiss them, and then pull your hand away from your lips as a way of showing that you think that something or someone is perfect or excellent. That is a good one. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. I just totally, made, some amazing food. A chef's kiss. I just crushed that last segment. Chef's kiss. I wash my hands. Chef's kiss. That's good. Those are interesting. I'll tell you what. If you have some slang that you want to pass my way that you think is so bizarre, like glizzies. Glizzies has to be the dumbest fucking slang I have ever heard. And if you don't know what a glizzy is, get ready because it's dumb as snot. A glizzy is a hot dog, and nobody really knows where it originated. It's probably some from some influencer. And instead of calling it a hot dog, they are probably high as hell, and they're like, "It's glistening." And then the other person next to him is like, "Did you say it's a glizzy?" A hot dog's a glizzy. Look at me, father. I got me a glizzy. Makes no sense why you would call a hot dog a glizzy. But there you go. If you have some other ones you want to pass along that we can have some fun with, it's dehuffpodcast at gmail.com, or you can hit me up on my socials at dehuffpodcast. And speaking, if you want to give a chef kiss to something, it's High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge. It's the first and only canna bar in the state of Colorado, which is like an alcohol bar, but it's for cannabis. It's so neat when you go in there. And when you swing by, you can purchase product on site, you can consume product on site, then take the rest home. And you can get up to an ounce of flour, 8 grams of concentrate. They also got pre rolls and edibles, and they provide everything you need to consume it with. They got 7 big screen TVs so you can catch your favorite sporting event, like anything to do with the Olympics. What a great way to go hang out and catch up on the Olympics. They also got Nintendo Switches available to rent. They got board games. They got a whole bunch of games that you can choose from. They also got a quarter arcade with pinball machines, vintage Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and more. High Society, one of the greatest places to go hang out and just chill and get your mind right. They're open daily from noon to 10. Happy hour runs from noon to 4:20 Monday through Friday, so you got to swing by for that if you can. High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge, it's just 9 minutes from Coors Field, and you got to be at least 21 or older to consume. No outside product. You buy it there. Just head on over. High Society at 7667 Washington Street. Just GPS, the High Society. I love following random sites on social media. And on Twitter, I follow at Facts of World, and world is spelled with a 0. And they always post some random ass facts. And I love it. I love it. Like this one. Did you know bears can outrun, outclimb, and outswim humans? I didn't know the swim part. That's even freakier. However, their center of gravity makes it difficult for them to run downhill. So next time you meet a bear, make sure you're on a hill and you can run down it. I want to know if that's true. I still don't trust me outrunning a bear, despite how steep the hill is, and I can run down it. I'm not going to test it. Not going to test. That being said, I'd probably freak out in the moment and be like, "Wait, if it's brown, don't back down. If it's black, kick its ass." I don't remember I don't remember. I don't remember all the things for bear safety. So I'd freak out. I guess I'd just be like, I need to find a hill. I need to find a hill. Ah, shit. Ah, got me. Son of a bitch. It's chewing on my face now. I wish I would have done some research and figured out what to do if a bear comes at me. Uh, this is another random fact. If you had no stomach acid, an octopus could enter your mouth and crawl out your bumhole, as they wrote it. That's fun. That's fun to think about. There was that story. I was watching something. This guy, I guess I want to say Japan, might have been China, where there's a certain meal where you eat a live octopus. And a lot of people get it lodged in their throat. And this one particular guy, he was trying to spend a bunch of or trying to impress some clients, and he orders that, and all of a sudden later in the meal he starts choking and vomiting and all blah 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 blah, ends up going to the hospital, and when they put the scope down his throat or whatever they did, I don't know, maybe it was some sort of x-ray, they saw an entire freaking octopus just lodged in his esophagus. What? Gross. But sadly, the doctors in that area, yeah, it wasn't too surprising. They're like, yeah, well, it's people eating this one particular thing. I would never eat anything alive. I'm sorry, that's disgusting. Don't, nah. For that particular reason, I don't want it to fight for its life and and take it out on my body. No, no, thank you. And also, it takes around 12 days of continuous starvation for a normal human to resort to cannibalism. Hmm. How long would it take you being stranded somewhere to go, you know what? I think we need to eat Todd or whoever, right? I, I don't know how long it would take me. Um, I don't hold on. My wife's at a movie and my kids are calling my wife and they're here. And she's like, "Is everything okay? What's going on?" Like, I don't know. I'm doing the show. They said they were fine. They're probably asking her, "Can we have some ice cream or something?" Dad's busy. I think he said yes, but we're not really sure. Is that fine? Okay, thanks. Bye. Some shit like that. Anyway, going back to the very important topic, they said it takes around 12 days of continuous starvation for a normal human to resort to cannibalism. What would it take you? I've never been in a situation where I haven't had food for more than 24 hours. So I don't honestly know how I would react. I mean, if you're in that situation and you had no other options for food, I think it might take less than 12 days for some people. I don't know. I think it depends how much I like the person, I guess. I know that sounds messed up, but if it's you and me, we're cool. But you get that other guy down there and he's like, "Oh, hey guys, blah blah blah. This reminds me of the time that I did this back at that." And be like, "Oh my god, could he fucking shut up?" Kyle, I get it. You did stuff.
Shut the fuck up, Kyle!
You know what, guys? I think it's time to eat Kyle. He is a mouthy motherfucker, and listen, listen. He's got big legs. Let's do it. Let's choke him out and eat him. That's gross. I don't think I could. All joking aside, I don't think I could ever do it. I think I'd rather starve to death. But I say that. I don't know what I'd be like 12 days in. I don't know what kind of madness would be going through my head. I don't want to experience that. I don't want to be in that situation. Oh my god, I feel like there'd be some people that would just jump on it and be like, "We're a day in." You're like, "Dude, no, come on. We still could get rescued." Because that's the other thing that you gotta throw in there. At what point do you just concede and go, "We're probably not going to get rescued?" And that kind of goes into the equation. If you've been not found, no sign of any sort of search parties a week in, yeah, maybe I guess you'd start rolling it around. That's a crazy shit to think about. You know what we need to do? Let's go into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Matt OFP. He said, "Hey, DeHuff, this company is using a CT scan to x-ray sealed packs of trading cards. Way to ruin another industry, jackasses. Don't buy secondhand market boxes is the lesson here." So there's a company that you could, have them scan a box of cards, and before you even open it, they can go through it and be like, "Oh, there's this card, there's that card. This is actually worth something." Or be like, "There's no good cards in there." And then they could go back and sell it on the secondary market type of thing. So you're buying trash, essentially. This is what Matt continued with. Think of the scam behind the scam. If you, the scammer, send your box to be scanned by the CT scammers, they could scan a Mahomes rookie autograph card, keep it, and send you an identical wrapped pack or slash pack with different results. It's a scammer circle jerk and it kills the entire hobby. First of all, thanks for using circle jerk. Really appreciate it. Doesn't get used enough. But you're absolutely right. That's part of the fun of collecting cards is you go to the store, you don't know what you're going to get. I have a whole bunch of cards that I have actually in my desk over here. I used to love collecting football cards, baseball cards, had a few hockey cards, and basketball cards. I even had the Desert Storm cards, which we talked about the other day, which is really bizarre that that I think the Topps card company is one, and Pro Set is the other one, and they had cards of particular weapons, particular world leaders and generals and whatnot on different cards. With when you flipped it over, it'd give you a profile of what it was about. It's so bizarre. Let me see if I have one available. It's really bizarre. Yeah, look at this one. This card is taking off in an F-18. That's the particular card. The card right after it is an EA-6B Prowler. Okay, right? And on the back of each card, it has some info on it. I'll end with this CH-53 Super Stallion. By the way, that used to be my nickname back in high school. Nah, I'm just joking. It wasn't. And actually, they have one that is like machine guns ready. And what's funny, in a sense, is it's just glorifying war, and they profited it off it. I was probably like 12 years old when these came out, ish, right? And it glorified it and didn't give you the negative side of war. It's just like, hey, check it out, future recruits, huh? Let's see real quick. On the back of that CH-53 Super Stallion, brings back memories. The Super Stallion is a heavy assault transport helicopter capable of lifting external cargo loads up to 32,000 pounds. It can serve Operation Desert Storm in the dangerous function of clearing enemy minefields. Then it has a few other stats of like the weapons on board and whatever. I had like a Colin Powell one or something like that. There was a whole bunch of different ones. It's really, really fascinating how they did that. And I also got like some other like football cards. Sorry, this is not entertaining to anybody but me. Got this cool John Elway card. Anyway, the idea is it was fun. It was a fun hobby. And setting aside the Desert Storm stuff, it was really neat. That's how I learned about a lot of football players. At the time, we didn't have ESPN. I think it was what every was it Sunday night they would do George Michael's Sports Machine. Do you guys remember watching that? That was cool. It was like 30 minutes of all the highlights from the day or the weekend. Really cool. Really neat show. And that's where I got my info on sports information. Was that show, was watching the football games or baseball or whatever games, not hockey, but basketball. And then that's how I got my information. That and playing cards, and trading cards. Excuse me, and going through those, and it made it fun every now and then when you got something that was worth quite a bit. And that could have been $20, could have been $5. Either way, if it was more than the average card, it was really neat. Or if it was your favorite player. But now you're having this company kind of go in there and ruin the fun. The fun also is you heard of one of your friends getting a really valuable card, and you're like, oh man, that little fucker. He got a cool card. I'm going to keep buying them and see. So if you're going to, now that being said, what Matt is talking about is like if you're somebody that buys a bulk box and you have it sent in. I I just find this a little silly that somebody would do this. And not just football cards, Pokemon cards. Those are huge. My son has one that he got, and I want to say I don't think it would be because he kind of scratched it up, but it's like $100 some Pokemon card. Pretty fucking cool. It's probably actually only worth $10 because he didn't know it had value and somebody had given it to him or something, and he just beat the shit out of it. But when people are trying to, it's such an intelligent thing to do what they're doing, but you're doing it to scam. I don't understand that. And you're just screwing people over. You're screwing over the kids that are actually buying the cards. You're not, and the people that are paying for this shit to happen, you're fucking adults. That's what you are. And you're trying to scam kids. That's what all this is doing, is scamming kids. How fucked up. What a shit company. Sorry. You can use them if you want. I mean, the technology seems like pretty sound, but what Matt brought up is what's preventing them, the scammers, the people that are already set up to scam, what's preventing them from scamming you and keeping a box and then giving you a similar box, or taking one of those packs out and then resealing it? What's preventing them to do that? Every now and then give you a borderline good card, but then they're secretly taking others. This, yeah, it kind of fucks over the whole hobby. Like Matt was saying, I don't like that at all. What was the best card you ever got? Because I'm trying to remember all the cool. I have like a couple Shaq rookie cards. Those were cool. Oh, I don't. Oh, I have a Michael Jordan baseball rookie card, which was really neat. I think it's a rookie card or it's something like that. I mean, I'm trying to think. I have Barry Sanders rookie cards. I got a bunch of Emmett Smith, stuff like that. But like when I actually look them up, they're not really worth that much. Like maybe I think is like $20 at the most. At the most. Because by the way, you can just get an app where it scans the card and it'll tell you how much it's worth. Pretty neat, pretty neat. But I find that to be a fun, harmless hobby that people will, consume their lives with. And now you're tainting it by with this technology that is cool, but it's just helping other people scam each other. It's bizarre to me. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It makes me angry. Meh. Fucking people. People are always scamming. It's so freaking annoying.
Right, as always.
Ken, not the time. Okay? My goodness. that that was needed. That was needed. How about this, guys? I try to play the goat sound anytime things get a little too heavy. Right? We could be sitting there going like, I don't know how this election's going to go out, but look at guys, it's going to be a fair fight. Just kidding. If you look at this side versus that side, that ow. Sweet Lord. I had to get back on track. Anyway, boner fart. There we go. There we go. All is right in the world. Anyway. All right, guys, you have an amazing day. Hopefully, you laughed a little bit in this episode. I really appreciate you guys listening. Big thanks to Matt OFP for joining the program and giving his insight on that new technology. I mean, I don't know. If you let me know what was your coolest card that you ever got, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, or hit me up at DeHuff Podcast, or tell me what you think about that whole technology. Does that kind of ruin it for you? Anyway, thanks for supporting the show. Really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Hit that subscribe button. Give it a nice review, all that good stuff. Big thanks to High Society Cannabis Dispo and Lounge. And, of course, Bet Online. It's DeHuff Uncensored. You guys have an amazing day. Hopefully you smiled a little bit in this episode. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.